aiming to make your life just a bit more manageable. Remember, the tools and the tidbits that you pick up on this channel are purely educational. They can't replace therapy, but with some practice, they can help you along in your daily life. So let's get started. Today, I just wanted to get on here and mostly say Happy Thanksgiving, all the food coming your way, the parade, the family, the Friendsgivings. I wish you all the best time, the most bonding time, connecting time, and the most delicious time that you could possibly have. Happy Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite holidays. There's no presents involved. It's time for us to think about gratitude and what we're grateful for. And so I just wanted to say Happy Thanksgiving. But if I'm being honest, Thanksgiving isn't a cakewalk for everyone. In fact, it's a time when people ask super inappropriate questions, very nosy about your love life, your career. Where's your girlfriend? Where's your boyfriend? Why are you not married yet? Why don't you have a baby? Why don't you have a second baby? Right? Questions we don't want to answer. And this is just inevitable. It seems inevitable. We have to understand the intention. I think when people ask questions like that, it's because they're relaying, like, I'm close enough to you. I feel intimate enough to you where I care about your life and I care what happens, right? That's the intention. But the response in us is usually annoyance, and we feel like boundaries are being crossed that we don't want to cross, right? So I wanted to talk about that a little bit and a couple of things that you can do. First of all, I want you to know you don't have to answer any questions you don't want to answer. I know easier said than done, because there's that expectation and you want to be respectful when your aunt or uncle or whoever is asking you these questions, but you really don't have to answer these questions. So that's the number one thing. I know it sounds simple, but it is important to remember you are under no obligation to answer questions that you're uncomfortable with, you think are inappropriate, or you just don't feel like, right? So what you can do is either switch the topic, you can say, no, I don't want to talk about that. You can say you forgot something in another room and sort of drift off. There are ways that you can get out of that. Another thing that happens is people sometimes say backhanded things where they're asking you a question, but it's a little bit insulting, or it's meant to be a little bit demeaning, or creates a little bit of an ouch. A good way to deal with that is to say, I'm not really sure how to answer that question. It puts the other person back in their place. You're not being disrespectful. You're really just saying, I'm not really sure how to answer that question, right? It really kind of resets things really, really quick and puts the control back on you, and also stops the conversation if you want the conversation to be stopped, right? So we don't have to answer questions we don't want to. We can drift away. We can say you don't want to talk about that. Or if somebody's being a little insulting a little bit, or going a little too far with something, or makes you feel uncomfortable, you can say, I don't know how to answer that question. Those two things. And the third thing I want you to remember is, if you need to take a break, not everybody's an extrovert. I'm an introvert, for example. So sometimes when I'm around a lot of people for a long time, especially not everyone that I feel close to, not everybody at Thanksgiving, I'm sure you're going to feel close to, some people closer, some people not, but being around people for a lot of introverts, or half introverts, half extroverts, is very draining. So I want you to remember that when you need a break, if it's in a house, for example, even if it's in a bigger apartment, it's okay to grab your phone and go to a different room and sit there for a while to recharge. You don't owe anybody any explanations. If somebody comes to get you, you could just say, I'll be there in a couple of minutes, I'm just recharging. I'll be there in a couple of minutes. And if you don't want to say recharging, you could just say, oh, I'm just resting for a little bit, or I have to take this call. But I do want you to know that when you feel drained by being around a lot of people, it's okay to take a breather. And if going to a different room is not an option, go to the bathroom, put some cold water on your neck, stay there for a little bit, have that be your resting place. Okay? So you don't have to answer inappropriate or nosy questions. We talked about how to do that. And also, you can take a break when you need to take a break, because it could be an all-day event and it's just very draining for people who are introverts. Also, I want to say, I know I said that was the last thing, but also I want to say is I want to remind you guys that our mind is really bad on focusing on two things at once, right? I've said this in a previous video. So what we can do is we can use that to our advantage. Meaning, if we're getting annoyed or burned out, or again, people are asking questions and it's really like triggering us or getting us angry, you can shift your focus to things that you're grateful for. I know it sounds hokey, but again, if we shift our focus to something else, we leave this place over here. So, somebody's pissing you off or bothering you or whatever it is, or you're just not having a good time, literally in your mind, go to gratitude world, right? Say, but I'm really, really thankful. I genuinely am thankful that I'm healthy, or I'm thankful that I have a car and I could take myself to this house and be with everybody. I'm grateful for, even though people are being annoying, that I knew what my plans were. I had family to go to, or I had friends to get together with. Not everybody has that. In fact, a lot of people don't, and holidays are really tough for them, right? So if you are getting annoyed or agitated or tired, you can go into your own gratitude world in your head, because there is nothing more connected to happiness than gratefulness. That's what Thanksgiving's all about, right? Not presents, not anything else, not consumerism, just some good old food and gratefulness and being around people that you care about, even when sometimes they're a little bit nosy. So I wanted to leave you with those few things, and I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. I hope it's a large feast and you eat too much and think, why did I eat? Past the point of where I could breathe, past the point where I'm uncomfortable, or is that just me? I get full and then I'm like, but I need to keep going, obviously. So I hope you guys have a big old feast and you are with people that you feel connected to, whether it's friends or family or acquaintances, whatever that looks like for you. I hope you guys have the best Thanksgiving. I will be posting a video on confidence next and how to have long lasting confidence, not one that just comes and goes, peeks its head in and then leaves. So, happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys in the next video. You got this. See you next time.